You know the vibes. Another night of the NBA playoffs. You're locked in with the Hoop Genius podcast presented by NBA 2K22. I am Mo Mootsie alongside real name no gimmicks PJ Armstrong to break down all of last night's action where we saw two teams advance to the second round. We're going to start in the Eastern Conference, BJ, where the defending champions beat your former team, the Chicago Bulls, in 5 games. Fortunately, there was no Zach LaVine and no Alex Caruso for the Chicago Bulls, and the Milwaukee Bucks, they took care of business, even without Chris Middleton, fairly easily. Now, the big talking point is Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN reporting that Chris Middleton may not even be available for the next round. But before we get to previewing that game, which will likely be on Sunday, and I think we'll be in the studio for game 1 of Boston versus Minnesota. What a treat that will be. Let's talk about last night's game. The Chicago Bulls, I didn't expect much from them. I didn't expect them to put up much of a fight, and they did not disappoint. There wasn't really much of a fight. BJ, do you consider this season a success for the Chicago Bulls?
Absolutely. Chicago Bulls had a great season. And here's why. There was a lot of speculation with the Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan. What was the chemistry going to be with that? Well, there were a lot of people who said they didn't think it was going to work. They put together, I think it was a consensus with Ball when Lonzo came over. They get Alex Caruso. And for better or for worse, DeMar DeRozan was simply incredible this season. He was the best player on the team, without question. They had a very successful season. I thought they overachieved. At one point, they were number 1 in the conference.
Yep, big time.
Okay. And things seem to be clicking now, like all teams, injuries and COVID and all of those things came into play. And I think the expectations going into the playoffs that they would possibly advance, so forth and so on. But I don't think they were the upper echelon, even when they were playing well. So I thought this season was a very successful season. However, I'm a little concerned because now they have to commit to some of these players. And that commitment will be financially Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine, now he's a 2-time All-Star. He's one of those players where you're saying, okay, he's an All-Star caliber player. Is he a max player? Okay. Certainly you look at his numbers and his numbers probably will warrant that. But Mo, and not just this case, but all cases, as I look at this, I go, okay, a max player, as the way this is constructed, right? When I say this, the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, roster construction, and all those things, I think there's 2 things you have to really take notice. If you are an executive, you have to say, will those players affect my top line, which is putting people in the seats, and will they affect my bottom line, which is winning games? And if that player doesn't affect one of those or both, then you have to really consider how you're building a team and what's your realistic expectations.
And it's a shame. It's a shame we didn't get to see Zach LaVine fully healthy. I read today that he was playing 50% of his knees. He was at best 50% of what he could be with his knee injury. So credit to him for playing through the injury and
give him all the credit.
Other players.
And you know what? And look, I hope all the players get what you get. All of you should get the max. However, if you're building a team, because you hear me say this, Mo, when you're building a team, that's a skill. And if you're going to build a team in this league that has any level of sustainability, you're going to have to seriously consider how you distribute the economics of the team. That's just part of the business. All the players get all the money you can get. But if that player doesn't affect your top line or your bottom line or both, then it's going to be very difficult to have a realistic chance of competing at a high level in this league. That's just the facts of the business.
Yeah. The hard part for the Chicago Bulls is they're not likely to get a free agent signing bigger than DeMar DeRozan. They've not got any assets to trade with. They traded away their draft pick. So they're in a position where they kind of have to pay Zach LaVine, whether you consider him a max player or not. They can't afford for him to walk.
That's for the Bulls. I hope he gets it. However, when you start saying max players, okay, and you look at the Giannis's, you look at the Jason Tatums, you look at these guys, your player is going to have to perform, not just get the numbers. He's going to have to perform when the lights are the brightest. You know, you saw Ja Morant last night.
The night before, yeah.
The night before. Okay, well, last night for me, but the night before.
Yeah.
You saw Ja Morant. Ja Morant is must-see TV. Okay? That was just, your building is rocking. He makes the plays when the lights are the brightest. That's just what it is. So if you're saying that, then let's go for it. But certainly Zach LaVine is a terrific player. I want to make that clear. And whatever he's supposed to get, hopefully he gets it, whatever him and his team. But I think the Bulls have some, choices to make. And that's going to determine what it's going to look like for the next 3 to 5 years.
Well, I think it's going to be better next year because they're going to be fully healthy. They had not only Zach LaVine missing that last game with health and safety protocols. Yeah, we hope. Alex Caruso missed that final game of the playoffs, but also Lonzo Ball missed an extended portion of that season. And when they were challenging at the top of the Eastern Conference, he was a big part of that with his perimeter defense. Patrick Williams will be healthy for the entire season, fingers crossed, and he will have another year under his belt to develop and grow as a player. So I feel like the Chicago Bulls are in a good spot moving forwards. They're significantly better spot than they were a year ago or 2 years ago. So credit to them. Do I think that even if everyone is healthy next year, that they're going to be good enough to challenge to win the East Conference? No, I don't. But that's a whole nother conversation. And that's with all due respect, to the Chicago Bulls organization and the team they put together. But as you said, I don't believe Zach LaVine nor DeMar DeRozan to be on the same level of a Giannis, Embiid, Tatum player of that nature. And DeMar DeRozan, he had a great game too, but apart from that, the Milwaukee Bucks absolutely locked him up, especially with no Zach LaVine. The defense really loaded up on him, and it was a struggle for him to get anything going whatsoever. So, DeMar DeRozan in the playoffs, I'm still yet to see a playoff series where he goes really crazy. And but that remains to be seen. It's interesting. But the Milwaukee Bucks, it feels like the giant has woken up, like we said before on the show. And an old tweet resurfaced, PJ. I want to tell you this quote because I think you'll like this one. It's from Dragonfly Jones back in 2019. He says, "Real G's move in silence like Giannis. Not lasagna. Real G's move in silence like Giannis."
Let me tell you something. I just feel like, every time I watch him, how he plays, it just resonates with me. How he approaches the game. We talk about, I hear this term now, skill set. And we talk about 3-point shooting. And we talk about, basketball IQ and all these things. He just plays.
Did you hear what Charles Barkley said?
I did not.
Charles Barkley, before the game, compared him to the great Tim Duncan. He says Giannis doesn't care about the extra stuff. He said, other than Tim Duncan, he's the most humble, quiet superstar I've ever been around. He doesn't care about all the noise. He just wants to come in, play basketball, and win. And personally, I absolutely love to see it.
Mo. Mo, I just know, Mo, what it takes to be successful. And not because I know something anyone else, but when you observe stars and when you observe these players, you see a trend, right? Mo, this is a game that is played by elite athletes. It's a game that's played by very talented players. But some of these players are just a little different. And I've been saying this about Giannis for quite some time. He's a little different. And what's different about him is he has rejected what it means to be a superstar today. He's rejected that in this business because, Mo, let's be honest, what this business has turned into now. It's entertainment.
Don't want to get too real for them right now, B. Don't want to get too real for them right now.
Mo, let's keep it wet. Mo, there's basketball. Okay, and then there's the business of basketball.
Sports entertainment.
Now, Mo, it's entertainment. We're talking about more things off the court than what we're talking about on the court. Let's just call it like we see it, okay? We got to call it like it is. What's refreshing about Giannis, we're always talking about him on the court.
Yeah.
He has rejected becoming a star. To me, Mo, if you're asking me, and just you and I talking, if you want to be successful in this era, you have to reject becoming a star.
What do you mean by that?
Superstar.
Becoming a star.
You have to reject becoming what the entertainment world claims to be a superstar, your brand and all of that stuff.
Well, Giannis does a great job. He has major brand deals. He actually has a movie coming out about his life with Disney. He's the official international ambassador for WhatsApp, which is like the only person they sponsor, which is a huge corporation. He's the official ambassador for Google and the Google Pixel phone. He has a long list of endorsements purely from just being himself. You don't hear about the drama.
Okay.
You don't hear about...
Say that again. He has all these clearly being what?
Himself. But his money is still long. His endorsement deals are still long. Nike signature shoe, the Greek Freak, the brand is still strong. So it's
I'm gonna quote your generation.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna leave this alone. The great, I'm an MC at heart, Mo. J. Cole said, "Those who know."
Okay.
See, those who know.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, Giannis still has a very strong brand.
No. But you and I know this. Giannis don't believe that he is anything that has to do with them brands. See, that's the difference. He don't believe it. Because you know how I know he don't believe it, Mo? Because he's still in that gym.
Oh, facts. Giannis,
he don't believe he's a superstar. He believes
he's humble
in that game.
He's humble.
You say what you want. You say
in his last 7 closeout games, because you always talk about closeout games being the hardest to close out. 33 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 60% from the field, plus 131, 7-0 in his last 7 closeout games.
Well, he only played like 30 minutes a night. I mean, this guy is
unbelievable.
unbelievable.
Close out the Suns last year. When the game is on the line and the pressure's on the line, he steps up. But in terms of being a brand, he still has some sort of brand presence. On the other hand, Nikola Jokic, I feel, has no brand presence. He doesn't do any social media. Giannis at least posts a picture every time the Bucks play. He will post a photo with some sort of motivational caption. If the Bucks lose, I can guarantee Giannis puts a caption saying, "On to the next one," or "Keep going." And if they win, he'll put "Stay focused." I guarantee. I'll go check Instagram in an hour's time. I guarantee he posts a picture saying "Stay focused" or "Eyes on the prize" or whatever. But Jokic, no brand. He doesn't do the social media. Don't really see him on adverts. He does his own thing. And he'll be doing his own thing. We spoke about him back home, riding the horses in Serbia, as the Denver Nuggets got sent home by the Golden State Warriors. Jokic, in my opinion, put up a fight, 30, 19, and 8. And he was doing it all with a tight hamstring from before the game. You saw him tweak it during the game, and he played a very disciplined fourth quarter with 5 fouls to his name. Did a good job to foul out and just bucket after bucket down the stretch to keep the Denver Nuggets in that game. But ultimately, Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors were too much. Steph dropped 30. He did a fantastic job. It's impossible for the Denver Nuggets to defend him because they put the bigs in every action with Steph. You come up too high, he's blowing by you. Drop back too low, he's shooting it. You blitz it, he moves the ball, relocates, catches it, or one of his teammates shoots an open three. An absolute nightmare to match up with the first team in the Western Conference to advance onto the second round. BJ, what are your thoughts after that one out West?
Well, it's very disappointing when you look at this. When you look at the numbers, right, Mo? And I'm not a numbers guy, but here's something that really stands out to me. You know, Jokic has 30 points, 19 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks in 32 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Then DeMarcus Cousins, the backup center, has 19 points, 4 rebounds, no assists, 1 steal. You know, Bo, that's 49 points and 23 rebounds and 8 assists from the center position.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mo? And you still lose.
Because you got
now,
what did you get from the other positions? You got nothing else off the bench. You got 4 points from Bones Highland off the bench. You got 2 points from Jeff Green. You got Barton, Gordon, and Morris combined for less than 45 points between them. They combined for about 40 points between all of them.
You know, you asked me what I take. All right, I look at the numbers and I go, wow. But when I watched the game, Mo, I kept asking, what are they doing?
Do you know what stood out to me?
I kept asking all game, what are they doing?
The Denver Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets. Like, Mo, it was a brand of basketball that wasn't conducive. It didn't resemble playoff basketball for sure. I mean, I saw so many ill-advised three-point shooting. Mo, it's one thing when you shoot on the road and the crowd, you shoot at home and the crowd's behind you and maybe you get a steal and you may take, you know, a quick shot because the crowd's into it. Mo, you're on the road.
6 from 29 from downtown for the Denver Nuggets.
Mo, you're on
20%.
the road. Okay. And I saw air balls from 3, just unforced turnovers.
14 turnovers.
Do
you know what stood out to me, though? Do you know what stood out to me? They out-rebounded the Warriors 50-37, and they somehow lost the game. When you usually have a rebounding advantage like that, you usually don't lose those games.
Well, if you saw the offense that I saw, I mean, Mo, I just don't know again, these are like, especially those two, I understood, like, when you get a 19-point effort off the bench in 15 minutes, Mo, that's a significant. So my thing is, what brand of basketball are you playing here where it just, something is not right there? And okay, you look at the other guys and you go, Barton, these are good players. These are good players. JaMychal Green, these are, Brent Forbes he could do something. Mo, this is what bothers me.
Brent Forbes, who outscored Jimmy Butler in the first round for the Milwaukee Bucks last season.
Okay, all I'm saying is these are good players. These are good players.
Every player in the NBA is good. Every player in the NBA is good.
But these are battle tested players. These are like rookies or these are guys who've been in the playoffs and have played in some games.
Well, I mean, their second best player all season was a rookie in Bones Highland.
Okay.
He had a bad game tonight, but the rest of the series,
Here's what bothered me tonight, Mo. This is what bothers me. Here's what's bothered me. You're gonna look at the numbers tomorrow, tonight after game. You're gonna go, wow, Jokic was outstanding. He was so outstanding that Steve Kerr put Klay Thompson on him without a double team.
Yeah, because they were running box and one with Klay Thompson chasing him around.
Something doesn't seem right with that to me. That doesn't sit right with me. That Steve Kerr said, I can guard Jokic with Klay Thompson. And when he caught the ball, I didn't see a double coming, and Jokic willingly passed the ball. Something doesn't seem right with me here, Mo. And I don't know what it is. I'm not pretending to know the offense and the system. All I know is that Jokic, he just floats around and passes and does things. This is the playoffs now. The regular season was over. It's over.
I think that's very harsh to say he just floats around, passes, and does things. I think Jokic had a great performance. And when he gets better teammates around him, he's gonna be hard to eliminate.
What I'm saying is, Mo, if you have the playoffs is about taking advantage of the mismatches. What did the Warriors do every time down? They went at Jokic and DeMarcus Cousins and took advantage and created a mismatch.
Mm-hmm.
That's playing with a purpose. You have perhaps the back-to-back MVP. Why is he not either accepting the double team on the box or creating offense versus a smaller opponent so that you can create offense for yourself or the team? I'm not blaming him. I just want to know what's the purpose of having Jokic. He was terrific. He was beautiful. He was all those things. Why is he floating on the perimeter in a must game?
I'm saying we don't have
it's time to be playing around.
Put on Jokic because every time he got the ball down the stretch, he went out and got a bucket.
I'm not putting it on him.
We got to put it on.
Asking
who's making that decision to put him in those positions.
I'll say it again. I didn't understand what's going on in Denver.
Okay,
let's make
it more clear. You don't understand who's telling Jokic to be in these positions. Because let's be honest, he's great. Anytime he touches the ball, he's great. I think he's so great. His teammates, there was that pass, you saw that little behind the back no-look pass. Aaron Gordon didn't even know the ball was coming to him, and he would have had a layup if he was ready for that. Draymond Green just said after the game, I told Jokic, thank you for making me better. It's an honor and a pleasure to play with someone so skilled. Usually when you have guys that are talented and skilled, they're soft, and he is far, far from soft. I think Jokic is great. I think maybe he could be with a coach that puts him in a position to be more optimized against a smaller team. But here's the advantage, and the reason why you can't just put him on a block and wait for the double team is Draymond Green is that great of a defender. You don't need to double team anyone when Draymond.
I agree if Draymond was guarding him. Draymond wasn't guarding him.
Because he wasn't going to the block.
Mo. Maybe there's a misunderstanding here. When you're playing, you have to take advantage of the mismatch.
Yes.
There is a coach calls play X. You run plays to get to the mismatch. You run plays to get to the mismatch. You don't run plays to run a play. If the players defended well, you move the ball. You find the mismatch in the game. You can't, the coach isn't playing. You have to take advantage of the mismatch. That's the NBA basketball game. Now, in the regular season, you might can get away with it because you have more talent than the other team, or this team was playing with a purpose. We can't blame, okay, big fella, what did you see? Because clearly DeMarcus Cousins saw something. What did he see? How did he get to 19 points on the box?
Okay. So are you saying that you would want to see Jokic not playing how he's played all season long and how he's potentially back-to-back MVPs? All I'm saying is you want to see him just post up like Boogie.
No. I don't know, Mo. What I want to see is the following. What are we trying to do here that's going to give us the chance to win the game? That's all I'm saying, Mo.
For the record, Boogie being on the block he actually shot 2 3-pointers. And being on the block, shot the exact same percentage as Jokic did from his floating around and passing the ball.
I'm not into the percentages. I'm asking this.
I'm
what
telling you what it is.
So trying to do? What's this team trying to do? Because Mo, I was disappointed. I thought they had a legit shot before the series started, but I was like, what's going on here?
No.
Oh,
they didn't have a legit shot of beating this. This team is a contending team in the Golden State Warriors. They're a team that people are talking about could win the championship this season. The Denver Nuggets, you're looking at the team thinking, wow, they really got to the playoffs without 2 of their main guys. Which other team in the NBA, go to any other team in the NBA and take off their second and third best player and ask them to go up against the contending team? That's like the Warriors taking away Draymond and Klay Thompson. That's like the Bucks taking away Middleton and Holiday. That's like the Celtics taking away Smart and Jaylen Brown. And we're talking about, we're disappointed the fact that they almost won game 5 here and took it to 3-2. I think your expectation of the Denver Nuggets is way too high.
No, again, Mo, I want to say this, and then I'm gonna leave it alone because I'm a fan of Jokic. I like him. I like him. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying, at some point here, the NBA game, it will always come back to the essence of what it is. All right, coach calls play X. All right, coach calls play X. I see a mismatch on the floor. I'm gonna do the mismatch. Now, maybe that mentality hasn't been shared yet in Denver. But let me tell you something, Mo. Let me tell you what I saw the other team doing. They searched for the mismatch the entire series. And you can't tell me that was by accident. Now, and you can't tell me that when you watch these teams play, especially the better teams, and now we're in the playoffs, that is not championship caliber basketball. You search down your advantage and you try to get as many uncontested shots as you can by doing one or two things. Either you have someone that can create off the dribble or create one-on-one, or you allow your best player to get double, take on the double team, and find the open shot. Now, okay. Mo, if you're telling me that's not pro basketball, and all I'm saying is I have a player that I know in Jokic that can create a shot for himself and can draw a double team because there wasn't another player over 6'5" on the floor.
Okay, but I'm saying if I'm Golden State and I'm seeing Jokic go to the block, I'm putting Draymond on him and I'm not doubling because they game plan throughout the whole series, right? The Warriors game plan, game 1, game 2, game 3, where they won 3 games in a row, was to stay home on everyone. They did not double team Jokic at all when he was on the block through those first 3 games, and they won convincingly. That's why you can't say, I put him on a block and wait for the double. The double is not coming.
Okay. Every game that I saw, but maybe my television was different than yours over there. They started off with Kevon Looney. They put Andre Iguodala on him. Tonight they put Klay Thompson on him. What's the rookie?
No,
they had the rookie
let's not act like they had Klay Thompson game for a couple possessions.
I didn't say
when they was running the box.
All I'm saying, Mo. All I'm saying is, if my best player, as a coach, my job, okay, is to say the following. This is not an equal opportunity offense. The NBA is not an equal opportunity offense. Keep that in the NCAA or high school or that's amateur basketball. In the NBA, you get the ball to your best player and you play through your best player. And every coach's job is to get the ball to your best player where he best operates. Now, if you're telling me he can't operate, I'm not buying that one. I'm not buying that one.
I'm telling you this.
Better, if you're telling me, I want you to say that to me, Mo, and then I'll move on. If you're telling me that Draymond just can shut him down and
Yes.
I'm supposed to go away, okay, then
because he does it not just to Jokic, he does it to Embiid when he plays Embiid too. He don't need a double team for Embiid either. He gives Embiid problems. Draymond is that good. Draymond is that guy, and that's why the Warriors are a championship caliber team. The Denver Nuggets are not a championship caliber team. The Denver Nuggets are only in the playoffs in the first place because Nikola Jokic carried them through the regular season and into the playoffs. And I respect all these other guys out on the roster, but they have no business challenging with a contending team in the playoffs. And you talk about championship caliber basketball. Well, they're not a championship caliber team, so they're not playing championship caliber basketball. They're lucky to be in the playoffs in the first place. And it's through Nikola Jokic's brilliance that they got to the playoffs and they were in there and around and in the series. They're not contenders. The Golden State Warriors are the contenders. And, they're the first team from the West that's getting through. I'm going to
leave it alone.
We're going to have a quick look at the games that are coming up tonight.
Bravo to the Warriors. My disappointment in the watching the Nuggets.
Who's it with? Who's it really with? Because I know it ain't with Jokic.
It's not. I'm just with the Nuggets. I'm not here to call out. That's not. It's not necessary. But you can't tell me. You can't tell me in this league. You just can't tell me in this league that I got my best player. I'm not buying that one.
Okay.
I'm not. It's just like I got Kevin Durant. I'm not buying that I can't get 30 points from him.
Hey, well, you can't when Jason Tatum's got him. But anyway, we're going to keep it moving and look at tonight's games. Because tonight, BJ, my agendas will be flying. The Sixers are on the road to Toronto, and if Toronto can pull out the win tonight, oh my Lord, are we going to have things to discuss before a Game 7, potentially? We got to see if the Sixers could go into Toronto and close this out. BJ, I'm going to need some quick hitter predictions. I need one name. Philly, Toronto, Game 6. Philly are up 3-2, but they've lost the last 2. Who you got?
I'm going with Philly. I'm just sticking with it. You know what I mean? I'm just going to stick, because I don't like just the same thing. Just the argument we just made. I'm not changing.
But
I'm not changing.
We both predicted Toronto to win the series.
No, well, I think Philly should win this series. I think Philly should win the series. But you know what?
I would love to see the Raptors win. And I hope the Raptors win. And I think they can win.
But at the beginning of this, I'm going to be clear. Toronto, that's a bad matchup. That's a bad matchup for Philly.
No one wants to face them. But anyway, there's 2 more series out west that teams can close out. The Suns go into New Orleans up 3-2. I expect the Suns to take care of business, even though they're on the road. Devin Booker may even be back for Game 6. He said he would be back after the last game. He shouted it to the Pelicans bench and to the crowd. The medical staff haven't cleared him yet, but they're saying he's going to be back for either Game 6 or Game 7 or Game 1 of the next round. Do you see the Pelicans extending this to a Game 7?
Mo, I just look at these series now. I told you that I thought the team that wins Game 5 will probably win the series. Mm-hmm. So, listen, I think this team has 2 to beat 1.
But do you think they win tonight's game?
I think you win every game. Just like tonight, You know, Mo, I'm upset with the Denver game. I'm upset with
we finished with the Denver, man. I'm trying to wrap up the show.
No,
we finished with Denver.
Yeah,
We're talking about the Pelicans and the Suns. I need to know who you think's winning Game 6 in New Orleans. The Phoenix Suns or the New Orleans Pelicans?
I think Phoenix.
And then if Dallas Mavericks are in Utah, up 3-2, can Luka Doncic
I'm going with Dallas.
We'll roll with Dallas. Any last words on the Denver Nuggets before we wrap this one up?
I don't know what they're doing. Well,
I do know what they're doing, BJ. And do you want me to tell you a little secret about what they're doing?
Besides going fishing, they're going fishing now.
They're
on vacation, and they're getting ready
home. They're going to Serbia to ride the horses. They're going to Cancun to sit on the beach. They're going anywhere but the next round of the playoffs. But guess what? We're not going anywhere. We're going to be back here tomorrow morning, bringing you the updates from the NBA playoffs. As the action continues, we can have some storylines to discuss in the morning, so make sure you're there, your daily update of the NBA. BJ, thank you once again for your time and your opinions on the Denver Nuggets. And I hope that the Denver Nuggets were listening to this episode. Hit BJ's phone if you want some tips for next season. Because I think when they get Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., I think they're going to be a lot better. And that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying anything. I'm not talking about next season. I'm not talking about that because you know what? You know, the one thing that bothers me more than anything, and this is all I'm going to say, is when I see teams that don't reach their potential. And this team did not reach their potential. They did not reach their potential this year. They didn't reach it.
I think they exceeded it.
Okay.
Missing that second best player and the third best player. You know, the best players to not be in an all-star team, according to you, in Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., elite offensive talent. I think so. I think they exceeded it. They're playing guys, Monte Morris, Jeff Green, with all due respect. These are good guys. They're good guys, but they're not guys that you have on a contending team in the starting lineup. But, you know, it doesn't make a difference now because they're out. We're not going to talk about them for the rest of the season. We're going to talk about the Golden State Warriors who made it through, the Milwaukee Bucks who made it through. A lot remains in the NBA playoffs. Make sure you're rocking with us. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following. Hit us on social media. And until next time, get buckets.